I guess, people, we are actually broadcasting, although the program says we're not. So and I can't see anybody in the chat room, so I'm going to assume we're on. I
have it
I
up
can't
here,
seem
so.
I can't seem to shut it down. So I don't know. I guess we're just going to go with it. So if you guys can still hear us and see us, just let us know. I'm looking at the Facebook chat to see what's going on. So again, it's just weird because the Be Live studio says we're not really connected, and yet I guess we are, and I can't get it to shut down. So, but as long as you guys are hearing us, if you are hearing us and seeing us right now, just let me know right on Facebook. I'm looking at the chat room on Facebook, so let us know. All right, and if we are, we'll keep broadcasting. If we're not, now it looks like it's frozen up, Carly, on there.
Bob says he can see and hear us both.
Okay, because now on Facebook it looks like it's frozen. So.
Oh, no, not for me.
Okay. All right. So I guess if you guys, it's a weird night. Started off weird and it's getting weirder. Okay. Anyways, I was just on another show of a friend of ours. I was on Paranormal Rewind, where we just talked about TV show I was on, My Paranormal Nightmare, all that. So it's so cool. So, but if you guys, so I'm totally thrown off by this tonight. I was going to start off with a joke where you guys maybe saw the moon there originally. I thought Carly gets her cool lights in the background. I'd get my moon. I was going to talk with the moon head all night.
Well, I saw it in the beginning, so technically, yeah.
Yeah, well, that didn't work out. So we'll try that another time. I'm not going to do it now because I don't even know what's going on. Because technically, I can't really. No, I can see it on BeLive. Anyways, all right, enough of this garbage. Everybody says they see us loud and clear. Okay, good to go. All right. So, you guys got any questions out there tonight? Because I'm just totally thrown off here right now. It's just, it's kind of like the world right now. It's just totally thrown off. A lot of weird stuff going on.
And let's try to keep it positive tonight.
Yeah. And Bob listened to me and Ellen on the other show. So thank you, Bob, for tuning into that. Bob Burnell. Chris Sanders. I see Chris is here. Hey, Chris. Regina Bova. Always good to see you. Barry Martz. Great to see you as well. Had a lot of comments. I just can't see them all. So yeah, I wonder if I can expand that, but I got to shut the volume off. Now I'm trying something weird with Facebook so I can watch it from there. But and of course, that doesn't seem to want to work either. I don't know. It's a weird night. Oh, there he finally goes. So now I can actually see the chat room through Facebook. So, okay. Awesome. Well, at least they can see us and hear us because I'm just totally confused with what's going on. So,
well, let's start off with a question because we have a question.
We do have a question. Okay, what's the question?
Pamela asks, what are you both doing to keep your sanity during the quarantine?
I'm not.
That's a trick question.
I've lost my mind. It's totally gone now. No, what are we doing to keep our sanity? I don't know. I work every day. I work from home, so I get to work most every day. We'll be making a secret trip coming up this week, so can't talk about it. It's top secret, classified, government stuff. Can't talk about where I'm going, but I am going away. I'm leaving Carly behind.
I have the cat all to myself. I'm not complaining.
Cat and the bed and everything else. The house all to her, pretty much herself. My sister Shelly, I think, it's still going to be here. She was going to go away for a bit, but I think she's changed her plans. Or maybe not. I don't know. I didn't ask her today. But so Carly will be around. I won't. But I will be back before next Tuesday. I can tell you that much. So we will be again on next Tuesday.
Yes.
And again, we're always here to answer your questions about everything paranormal. I don't really want to talk about the State of the Union tonight. It's not that good. So, but I wonder if some of the things could be paranormal related.
So Chris Sanders asks, what case do you remember over all of the others?
There's actually a couple I remember over all the others, maybe a few. USS Constitution always sticks with me because we're the very first team. Spirits in New England was the very first team ever to get to investigate the USS Constitution for 2 nights in July of 2010. And that was long before Ghost Hunters ever did it. I do have a feeling it was because of our evidence we caught, and they saw, some of their people saw it, that I think they investigated it. So that's a cool thing. So that one sticks with me. And there's a case that was in Springfield, Massachusetts, client case, Springfield, Massachusetts, that always stuck with me. And that's in my book, Spirits, the Hauntings, Ghosts, and Demons. Hunting Ghosts and Demons.
Oh,
it's
Hunting
also,
Ghosts and Spirits.
yeah, it's also Hauntings, Ghosts, and Demons, and it's also the comic book, the graphic novel, Spirits of Forgotten Souls of Bay Path. So those two always stick with me, and those are the client case, because we got to the one night we investigated the client's house. We experienced everything he said he was experiencing. That's extremely unusual. Disembodied voices, shadow figures, being touched, grabbed, hearing disembodied footsteps, disembodied voices. Everything he experienced, we experienced. We even heard things moving. We didn't see them move, but he also just heard things moving at time. And so we experienced all that, which is pretty crazy. Of course, USS Constitution, Old Ironsides in Charlestown, Mass., just because of how historical it is, and that we were kind of, requested to investigate it by the U.S. Navy. So those two always stick with me.
I got to see it when I went sailing with Sarah, Steek, and Sarah's dad.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool experience. So that was awesome.
Yeah, we did actually put together. Excuse me. Here it goes again. We did put together a video of it, which you can watch on our website. It's just a homemade video they put together from all the evidence and investigation, and it's on our website at spiritsofnewengland.org, spiritsofnewengland.org. So I think it's under our evidence page. You can go there. You can actually watch the video of that actual investigation. So I'm just reading some things in the.
No, it's okay. Thank you, Delaney. She says my sweatshirt.
Yeah, I see. That's what I was reading. She's sweetheart.
I am a narwhal.
She is a narwhal. Yeah.
I should have pulled out my narwhal stuffed animal.
Yeah.
She would be the star of the show.
Yeah, she could be tonight instead of the rest of the junk that's going on. But I'm just glad everybody can see us and hear us tonight.
Yeah.
And it's all good. So, but again, if you guys got any questions for us, throw them out there. Yeah. I'm sorry, people. It's been one of those days. It's been a long day. I apologize. It's not the audience. It's not the company. That's for sure. It's just been a long day. Had a lot going on with work today. So, anyways, Carly, you got a few things this week. You got some new outfits this week and stuff.
I did get some new outfits this week.
And we can say it's paranormal related because some of them are for when we start doing events again.
Yes. So super excited to try those out. I can't wait till events can start up and running again. And, I don't know, just chilling. I start work tomorrow.
Yeah, we all are. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see Dan and Heather are here. Debbie Stewart's here. How you doing, Daniel? See you out there. Tracy. So we MJ's on. Okay. I am not bored with you guys, Daniel. No, I am not. Mm-hmm. I'm very tired. I had a long day. Damn it. An interview before this one, as some of you know. So I've been going since about 6 o'clock this morning. So it's finally catching up to me. And I was up till about 4 o'clock last night. So yeah, catching up to me. It's not the people, trust me. and Delaney. We know Delaney is Bob.
Yeah.
Bob says, I have read all 3 of your books. Any new ones on the way? Yeah, there's a couple I'm working on slowly but surely. I am working on them. So we're getting to those. Yeah, there will be some new reading material, hopefully by the end of the year here, or before the end of the year. Maybe in the next few months. Who knows? I try to do too much all at once. That's my problem. And then I get nothing done. Gina has joined us. Hello there, Gina. So always good to see everybody online. So as far as things going on the rest of the year, Dan, we will be at the Hinsdale house. Us and some friends of ours are just going to be renting. Yeah. All right, I'm tired of the yawning. Stop the yawning. All right.
You need to go bless you with holy water.
I think you better. I think it might help. So we're going to be renting the Hinsdale house at the end of the year here. If you guys haven't been there yet, you ought to check it out. Hinsdale House, Hinsdale, New York. Great location. Very interesting site. It's one of those types of places you don't run across them very, very rarely. But I do think the building itself is self-aware. And I have my reasons for that. But it's a very interesting place. And we're going to be going back in November. It should be fun. It'll be the weekend after my son's wedding. So yeah, that'll be fun too. So the weekend after that, we get to have more fun and go back out to Hinsdale.
I'm super excited about it.
I am too. It's going to be fun. We're just bringing some friends. It's not an event. I'm not doing an event. Sorry, everybody. But we are bringing some friends out there. We're just going to investigate. It's fun to do that once in a while and get away from all the event stuff too. Although we haven't had much event stuff this year.
I know. Investigating with event stuff is fun, but sometimes we like to go out and have fun too, just with friends and stuff. So
true. And somebody wanted. Dan says, what do you say? He keeps bouncing around on me here. So let's ask Carly something. What does he want to ask Carly? Let's see. Dan wants to ask you something. If I can get it to read it. Did you see it?
Yeah. He says, let's ask Carly about all the rioting. When does she feel there will be a peace? And then he says, will that bring a new beginning? Well, my thoughts about it are, which I learned last night, that there was actually another riot in the 70s also, which you'd think that, people would kind of learn from past, events and kind of make adjustments according to that. But, this is a really messed up time right now. And, with the timing of the pandemic, it's a very destructive time. Really honestly, when this is all over, there will be a new beginning because we will all be recovering from it. We will all, be healing from it, from that and the pandemic, but I don't really like talking about it. It's just, I saw a bunch of stuff. I have to stay off of Facebook now. You saw a bunch of stuff last night. I don't really want to talk about it, but there will be a new beginning when we're done with it. It's just, it sucks that this is going on right now. And, you think that humanity would be better than that.
Yeah, we've all been through it before. Some of us, anyway. Some of us more than once, because you had the civil rights riots, and then you had the protests and riots of Vietnam. Of course, you had the protests for the civil rights, which many of those were like a lot of the ones going on today. They were peaceful. Especially when Martin Luther King was leading them. They're always peaceful protests. But there was riots. That there's always an anarchist portion of the world out there that takes advantage of these things and riots and loots and just for their own benefit. And it's just sad that happens because it totally takes away from what the whole point of everything is, what the real protests are. So it's just too bad. But we'll get through this. We've gotten this. The country has gotten through it before. We'll get through it again. Dan's just talking about the Hinsdale house. He says he still has some openings for 2021. It books up pretty fast. Hinsdale House books up pretty fast. This goes back to the Hinsdale House. So I think he's all booked up for 2020, um, or what he could anyway. Um, so yeah, but anyways, yeah, it's just rough where we're all at right now. But we'll get through it. We always do get through it. Our friends who are watching from other countries, don't worry, we'll survive. We always do. Things change, hopefully for the better. Um, but things do change, and they usually do change for the better in the end. But Carl, you're right. You think we learn, and I think we do learn for a while, and then things change, and people change, and that generation is gone. A new generation comes, and kind of the wheels start turning all over again. Again, it's about something else. So it's just the way the world is. I guess I wonder if it's the same on the spirit world. I wonder if they have issues.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't really want to know about that. This is pretty tough. The things that I've seen right now with humanity, and I've seen a side of humanity that I never actually thought existed. And, this really goes to prove that, humans who are alive are scarier than some ghosts. It's
Oh yeah, I'm more worried.
absolutely,
about, the living rather than the dead, personally. But
right. It's tough. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about something positive. What's the spirits?
Well, we there's a lot of things that we could talk about. I mean, you've been doing your. We had Ed on last week, our friend Ed on last week, and you've been still doing all your Bible study stuff and stuff with him. That's usually all a positive note.
Absolutely.
And that's all paranormal related, really. It's all about the spiritual world. All the stuff we do, is about the spiritual world. It's not always just about equipment and trying to capture something and prove the existence of the afterlife. Trying to capture it on video or audio. I mean, a lot of it's also about just trying to help people figure out different things that are going on in their home. And we know there's a lot of that going on right now too, and that's because people are home more, so they notice things going on. I think that's part of it. Some of it's also just because, well, people are stuck at home, and their imaginations start running sometimes too, or sometimes it's a combination of both things. So but I'll bring this up because it just dawned on me that something Sam Baltrusas had asked me on their show tonight was, did I notice, and I'll ask this out there to the rest of the people out there listening to our show tonight, have people with any abilities, or even if you don't have abilities, have you noticed a higher sense of like anxiety lately, of more oppressive emotions, more things that make you worry a lot more, because what that can be is the energy that's being exuded from just what's going on in the world today. And that's kind of paranormal in itself, because all these emotions are raging, all this stuff is going on. And I notice that just myself, and I know they're not my emotions or my feelings. I do have a lot more and feel a lot more anxiety. And I notice it's coming from the outside. And once you learn how to control your abilities and manage your abilities, you can sense this. You can feel that they're not yours, they're coming from someplace else. And it's because all this energy is built up within small areas. We have a large city just across the way from us, Albany, New York. So there's a lot of that coming out. What about you, Carly? You notice
Oh yeah,
that
absolutely.
yourself? Others are saying, Sarah, Alexia, yes. Anxiety, yes.
Yeah.
Gina says like the retrograde feelings. But what about you? What do you feel?
Totally agree. Anxiety. I know you've noticed I've started pacing around the house, like for recently within the past month. Just very like high strung energy. I've started therapy again because I thought something was wrong with me,
Yeah.
but that actually would make sense. But yeah, no, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
So
Barry asks a question. Barry Marsh asks a question. Do you think the spirit activity would be more prevalent today with the negative current events that is going on today? What I do think is um, negative energy is majorly increasing, which could feed to more negative entities and providing them with much more energy and abilities to do different things. Um, where I think the more positive energies or positive spirits would be almost oppressed by it. Um, trying to what am I maybe even drain them. So I think because I do think negativity attracts negativity, positivity attracts positivity, and it also both of those feed each other. So negative feeds negative, positive feeds positive. So with all this negativity going on, if there are negative entities out there, demonic type things, or even non-demonic type things that are just negative spirit, they can feed off of that energy. So you might see an increase in more negative type cases because of that. I do think that's a good possibility. Carly, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. And there's probably going to be more of residual activity as well in certain areas, like in certain buildings, like businesses. With all the riots going on, that's a huge impact on people, like huge trauma with certain people who are being affected by it. So I think not just negative entities, but also a lot of residual stuff.
Yeah. And Vera Haney brings up a good point too about all this. Says I pretty much avoid watching the news. Too empathic. Well, even if you don't watch the news, you're still going to pick up on all this stuff. It's just the energy that's out there. My thoughts are that a good bit of what's going on now has to do with spiritual warfare. Trying to divide humanity. I think we all need to pray and love one another more. I totally agree with that. I do think that this negativity does feed the negative spiritual warfare that's going on, or the spiritual warfare that's going on. It provides more to the negative side than the positive side. So I kind of agree with that. But yeah, we do need to pray for each other more, not just for ourselves, but for each other, for the world, for our country, and for one another, and reach out to each other more. Try to do positive things, even though all this negative stuff is going on around us, and we're kind of affected by it. We feel it. Try to do positive things for each other. Try to stay positive. Try to help people out. I saw on the news a couple things that. A couple people intervened with rioters that were about to spray paint buildings or smash buildings, and because these people were from their neighborhood and they knew them, they actually relented and gave the people the bricks, or they put their bricks down and went home, or they handed them their spray cans, and just muddled home, rather than doing any damage, because one of their neighbors who they knew confronted them about it, and it got them to stop. And to confront them in a bad way, just said, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing this for? This is our neighborhood. What do you want to destroy this for? And they're like, well, why can't we do that? Because you're not supposed to do this. This is wrong. And by doing that and having that conversation, they back down. So I'm not telling people to go out there and do that, because if it's somebody you know, that's one thing. If it's somebody you don't know, be careful.
It can be pretty dangerous. From some of the stuff that I saw last night, it can be life-threatening. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, this was particularly people he really knew. This individual knew from his neighborhood. So I wouldn't try that with people you don't know, but at least not alone. But there is also communities forming groups out there to police their own neighborhoods, because the police aren't able to do it. So because they're spread out everywhere right now. So they formed their own groups and just kind of standing outside the community buildings, the businesses, local businesses and stuff, and making sure nobody touches them. They're doing that too. So that's positive things. They're also doing a lot of cleanup the next day, some stuff that does happen.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of positivity going on out there with all the negativity that's going on, just not as much of it. And MJ says, hey, okay. Gina says more grounding and shielding. Yep, that's a good thing to do. Uh, uh, Mary Wilson, yeah, it's hard not to feel somewhat disconnected to the whole to the whole of it all. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. It is hard not to feel disconnected. Um, MJ says yes, and I'm lucky enough to still be working. My need to relax in nature has increased, and I'm on the other side of Albany. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, we're on the Rensselaer side of Albany. We're Rensselaer, New York. So, MJ, I don't know which side you're on. I forget which side you're on. But we're on the Rensselaer Troy side over here. Um, so, a lot of good statements out there. Ironic you being that subject, you bringing that subject up. I've been thinking about it, wondering the same thing lately. That's from Jason Marble. um, uh, okay, here's one from Pamela. Here's a question, getting back on kind of the paranormal stuff. um, what is on the top of your bucket list to investigate if money were no object? Hey, for me, money is no object. That's not true, Pam. uh, that's not true, Pamela. Money is an object. I wouldn't mind going over to Scotland, investigating a few places over there with my friend Rick McCullum,
That
who's
would
a
be
really
cool.
cool guy, and he's dying to get back there. But there's some castles over there and stuff I'd like to get to. Um, even even in oh my god, Vlad's castle over there in Eastern Europe there. Um, Vlad the Impaler. So, anyways, those things would be pretty cool. I don't know. I never really think too much about those places. I'm so caught up in trying to do client cases all the time. But I guess there's a few places I'd like to get to. How about you, Kari? Any place in particular?
I don't know. Um, hmm.
A place special you'd like to go if you could? Money was no object.
I don't know, honestly. Um, I would like to go to Germany
Why Germany? What in Germany
to
would you want to investigate?
just like near like all the Holocaust stuff. I think it would be really cool to go there and just like appreciate, the energy around there and really get to feel it out and just
It's pretty dark
sit there.
energy there, I'll tell you.
Well, just sit there and be in the moment and really realize and realize what happened there. Kind of just, and it would be interesting to see what type of stuff is over there. But
Mm, mm. Look in some of the books from World War II. My uncle was actually over there and went through the concentration camps at the time. So he had to deal with, and he was never the same after he came back from all that. And they saw the results of what the Nazis did with those death camps and everything else. I mean, he was there. He had to help with helping the people and uh, burying the bodies, and it was pretty bad. So, I mean, as bad as you might be able to imagine it, it was worse, 10 times worse.
really,
Yeah, yeah, but good place to go to if you ever really want to see what really went on in those camps. It's not just there, but down to DC in the Holocaust Museum, and you'll
mm,
see all kinds of stuff from what was really down there. And went on there. Yeah, my sister says it is spiritual warfare. Quite a while back, she had a dream that
Persephone.
Persephone was standing on top of a black mountain, watching a huge city burning, and there was piles of dead bodies everywhere. I was climbing over, leading my family to get to safety. Oh, I didn't even know she had that dream. She never told me that one. Yeah, geez, I hope that doesn't really happen. Um,
Also, hi Tiffany and Jasmine. They're old friends of mine.
Yeah. Sarah asks, hey, you are both grounded and smart. Appreciate your positiveness, I guess. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. Well, we try to stay grounded. Not always. Hey, we're not always as cool as we seem, right? Sometimes we have our moments too. Everybody does. But we
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. We just try to give you insights, our insights into things and what we think is going on. Oh, thank you, Michelle Mellon. Says two of my favorite people. Oh, yeah, that's the island I was going to tell you about. Tiffany says, "Do you think you would ever go to Pavalia Island?" You know what one that is, Carly?
No.
That's the one with all the dolls on it.
No.
The doll.
No.
All the dolls.
You're going on your own.
Oh, I'll go to that one. I'd go to. I would actually like to go there. I go there in a heartbeat. That's in Italy, by the way.
Mm-mm.
You know
I will go to Pompeii.
There's a reason for the doll,
but I won't go to Pavalia Island.
That's actually the reason behind the dolls. Isn't really a negative thing.
I don't like dolls.
I'm just saying.
Sarah asks an awesome question. Do you know if places like Disney World could be haunted? I never thought it until recently.
Yeah, I've been down to Disney a few times. And as a matter of fact, I can't say who told me, but it's somebody who works there confirmed that yes, it is haunted. And we actually were trying to talk about maybe trying to do something to investigate there for some of their people. But I'm sure the Disney heads were kind of totally against that. And there's a reason that there is hauntings down there. People do die there. You don't hear much about it, but it is in the local papers every so often. Somebody is killed or dies on one of the rides. Some of the workers die there. Not usually, sometimes from accidents, sometimes, like they're some of the people there working are older, they have a heart attack, something like that. There's a couple of the rides, because the individual who I was talking to at the time asked me, after I told her I'd been there a few times, where I thought was haunted there. And I told her, I said, well, I could tell you of at least 3 locations. One is the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And it's actually as you're waiting to get on the ride. It's there. You can see, I've seen the shadow figure of a man kind of standing off where they load towards the back where the people get on the boats. And my interpretation was he's one of the workers. This individual actually agreed with me on that and kind of told me who they thought it was, which was kind of interesting. Another one was the when you walk into Epcot, the big ball. I forget what they call that. It looks like the giant golf ball. Anyways, I felt a presence in there. They also told me that's true. And they also told me that they think they know who that is too. Again, somebody who would work there. There's one of the rides I was on that I felt a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear and stuff on. And it wasn't my own. And it turns out one of the workers did die horribly there. And they didn't even realize the guy had been killed until the ride was over. It was pretty bad. So they know about that one too. But there's some other people who have died there. There's just sometimes location you feel like, it feels a little odd here, a little heavy. So just odd. But yes, Disney World, I can at least tell you, is very haunted. I haven't really been to Disneyland, so I'm sure there's probably some stuff there too. But go on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Yeah, check that out.
I think I've been on that ride.
It's haunted. Trust me, it's haunted.
That's the one where you sit in the boat, right? And you like go on water and they're like singing and like there's a bunch of robotics and or is it like a roller coaster?
No. It's you sit in the boat and it goes through. It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. I think I've been on that one. I'm not a roller coaster person. Everybody who knows me knows.
It's man's chest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
Sounds fun. I'd go on it.
So would I. I have many times.
One time I was in Disney World, and I went on the Tower of Terror, and I was in line, and I was about to leave, and the guy behind me in line was like, no, it's okay, it's a slow ride, it'll be fine. There's a picture of me, and I have it on my Instagram, of me like screaming my head off, and people are looking at me laughing. Because I hate rides. I'm not a
Josh
fan
had
of
that
rides.
same. My son Josh had that same thing happen. I got that same photo, just with him screaming next to me, like terrified. Yeah, yeah. Well, it
Oh
is slow
gosh,
until
never
you
again.
drop. It's totally slow until you drop.
I hate the feeling of something like a
And
heavy
then go
metal
back.
thing dragging me down. Like I can't deal with that. So that's like elevator ride, but like way over the. No,
God.
I'll end up haunting that place.
Sparky and Wolfie say hi, Jack and Carly. Oh, Sparky and Wolfie. Excuse me. There it goes again.
Michelle Million said she'd like to investigate the Empire State Building.
That would be an interesting place. You know, I know a giant monkey died there once. Fell off of it, right? They shot him down. They shot him from the airplanes, right?
Totally.
King Kong. Yeah. Never,
Um,
never happened for real, but that's okay. But yes, there is people who have. There is people who jumped off that building in the early. There's people who fell off that building while constructing it. So I'm
yes.
sure there's some kind of hauntings going on in that building and around that building.
Which it's
Would not
a
be
very
surprised.
historical building because the reason that they have the spire on the top was because at a time that was the tallest building in the world, and that was what made it the tallest building in the world was the
That's crazy.
spire on top.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
It's the antenna.
that
It's a
would
big
be a
antenna.
very very good, and I love the way it lights up at night, like they do the light show and stuff.
Mm.
It's so cool.
Yeah, we have people say Romania is a place they'd like to go investigate. Yes, that's
Yep.
Vlad's castle over there, Romania. And there's also in Romania, there's the haunted forest over there too, which I would love to investigate that too.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds cool.
And Barry says he has that on his bucket list too. Bobby Carter says Branson, something about Branson, Missouri. I don't know what's there.
The Titanic exhibit.
Titanic exhibit. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. Oh, in Branson. Okay, that's where it is. Titanic exhibit in Branson. Yeah, that could be kind of interesting to investigate. I know a few the groups on TV have done that. Ghost Hunters and a few of the others. Ghost Adventures. They've all kind of done that. I would like to go to Waverly Hills. I've never been there. I would like to go there just once. I've been to Western New York, Rolling Hills Asylum, but I would like to go to Waverly Hills Sanitarium. I think that'd be a very interesting place to investigate. And Sarah says, maybe we will see. Wait, Walt Disney in one of his theme parks. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he might show up. Actually, he's in all his theme parks. There's a big statue with him and Mickey in every theme park.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if people actually created a thought form of Walt Disney there, like where they say
Well, he
they've seen
probably
him,
is, and
and
Mickey.
like he appears because people have spoken that into reality. I
Yeah,
think.
I've seen Mickey there. I've seen Mickey Mouse.
Have you? Oh.
Yeah, I've seen him walking around. You think he's a thought form, or because the guy dressed in an outfit?
You'll never know.
Saw Donald Duck too.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What about Goofy?
Goofy. I saw Goofy.
Do his laughs haunt your dreams?
Yes. Oh
gosh, no. I shouldn't have said anything. Now I've started something.
Oh, here's a question from Pamela. Have you been any place where the activity was just too much? No. No, I haven't. I mean, I have a different perspective on activity anyway. I don't. Things don't tend to push me out. I mean, I've done demonic cases where I had to walk out of a room because what was going on, and I was being influenced by something and getting very angry at everybody. So I
I
had to
was there.
had to walk out of the room. No, not
Hmm.
this one. You weren't there for that one.
No.
No, but you've seen it on other things too. But this was a private case.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, actually, it was on. It was a case that we did that was on um, a haunting. So
Okay.
they didn't really talk about that, but I had to actually walk out of the room because I was getting angry. At first, I just felt anger, like something happened in that room. Next thing I know, I was getting angry at everybody for no reason, and I realized what was going on, and I had to walk out of the room. But just prior to that happening, I felt a sharp, like almost an ice pick being stuck through my temple, which is usually indication something's negative is very negative is trying to influence you. But that did turn out to be a demonic case. We got away. Sarah Liv says, "I live in Rhode Island. What do you believe? What do you believe? What actually happened to the Perron family, their parent family?" I've talked to Andrea, and I've heard her side of things. So they experienced a haunting, not like what you saw in the movie, um, but they did experience a haunting. They will tell you there was one dark thing there, but it's nothing like what the movie portrayed. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, I would tell you to read her book if you want to know what really happened with the family there. Read her book. I forget the name of it, but if you look up Andrea Perron's name, if you try to do a search on Amazon, you can find her book there. And I would read her book, and it will tell you what really happened to the family there and what was going on at the time. And some of our friends were actually really involved with the case originally. Um, that uh, actually asked the Warrens to get involved because they were a new team at the time. It was a little bit over their head, so they asked the Warrens to come in and help with that. Um, and that's um, Carly. Go ahead. Keith and
Carl Johnson.
Carl Johnson. Yes, yeah,
Yes.
they were two of the original guys on the case at the time. Um, so yeah,
Who are awesome people. They are good guys.
they are good guys. Oh, my sister says Hudson River State Hospital is a haunted sanatorium. She's been there. I did not know that.
Oh.
Were you there legally? Did you guys sneak in?
It's a loaded question.
Yeah. Don't answer that because I already know the answer. Barry says he'd like to go to Sweet Springs Sanitarium. Okay, I know what that is. Um, our friend Terry Egan is here. She says hi.
Hi.
Hi, Terry. Hope everything's good with you. She says,
We
"Come
can't visit
visit
you yet.
me." Can't visit you yet. Yeah,
No.
still got all this
Especially since
stuff
I'm going
going
back
on.
to work. So.
Oh yes, Michelle brings up Andrea Perron's book is the House of Darkness, House of Light is Andrea's book. So look that up. You can get it on Amazon. You probably can even find it in your local library. I would think if you want to go that route. I think libraries are starting to open up again. Um, so yeah, check that out. House of Darkness, House of Light, and they'll tell you exactly what really went on there from first person's perspective. You know, yeah, who survived that haunting or lived through that haunting. So that's what I would tell you. I haven't read the book myself, but I have just talked to Andrea. So mask it, she says. Terry says mask it. Yeah, it's okay. I'm still gonna just hold off for now, but we will come to see you, Terry.
We will.
Once
We will.
once
When
things
this is
loosen
all
up,
over.
when things loosen up a little bit, we'll make it over there. Um, Michelle, were you on that episode of Haunted Hospitals? And the answer to that, Barry, is yes. My sister was on Haunted Hospitals. So was um,
Was it related to the haunted
so was
sanitarium?
Eileen. I'll just say it that way. Eileen was on there too. Yeah, they both filmed for Haunted Hospitals. Yes, and so yeah. My sister was on there. She can tell you all about it.
Okay, she answered.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not the sanatorium. She was there for something else, for her own experiences she had. Love seeing Carly glow. Oh, you're glowing, Carly. What do you know?
Yeah. It's my makeup spray.
Jack, I recently seen you on TV show Paranormal Case Files. Well, he's showing. What is it like? What What is being on TV like for you? I think you mean Haunted Case Files or Paranormal Survivor. It could mean either one. I'm on both, so there's a few out there. I'm also on Haunted Hospitals, Haunting. I don't know. We go on My Paranormal Nightmare, My Worst Nightmare, which is
That's a
not
way
aired
to.
in the States here yet. But
That's a good way to combine it, though.
oh my god, I've been on a ton of crap. I don't know.
Here.
What's it like? What is being on TV like for me? That she asked me. Uh, Actually, when I go to film for these things, I really don't think it's. I don't think about it as being on. I mean, because when you go to film, you're not thinking you're going to be on TV. At least I don't think about being on TV. I just hang out with the crew at the time. We sit, we do the interviews. It's a lot of fun. We sit, I have to sit in front of a couple cameras. They film me. They do some other filming, what they call hero shots, where it's either you're turning your head to look at the camera or you're walking down a hallway or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, it's just fun. I mean, to me, it's just fun. Sometimes when filming, like for My Paranormal Nightmare, it's a little bit more personal because it was about what happened to me. So there's a little bit more emotion involved. Or I have had it where on Haunted Case Files, a spirit came through to tell her own story in a way through me. So that was very interesting because the question was asked, and I swear to God, this spirit just came through, channeled through me, and told her own story in a way. Um, and I broke down at the end of it, and the crew was like in shock, kind of surprised, and they asked me if I was okay because I'm like, yeah, but I don't. That really wasn't me, just that. And I knew something else was talking through me, but I had promised that particular spirit that somehow, some way, somewhere, we'd find a way to tell her story or let her tell her story, and we just happened to do that episode for Haunted Case Files, and I think it was season one or season two, season one. It was season one, and it was about the Jamaica plane case. So if you watch that episode from season one, I think it's called Jamaica plane case or something like that. Um, you'll see what happened there. But yeah, it's fun to film for. But I don't really think about it much when I'm filming. I just try to do the job. I mean, I look at it this way: they're there to ask me to tell a story. I do the best I can to tell the truth about what really happened, what went on. We have a lot of fun doing it. We enjoy it. But it's not like some of these other shows where they're like following me around with cameras and doing all that. That's not the type of shows I do. They're not. I just sit and get interviewed. So it's a lot easier, number one. It's a lot more fun, I think, although I think it's probably fun to do the others, although I haven't done them. I know it's a lot more work from the guys who do them. I know those guys, so I know it's a lot more work to be followed around by a camera all night for several nights. But I enjoy it. I'd say I enjoy it. But what I enjoy most about it is getting the opportunity to try to share information and share experiences of what happened to me or what happened to others or how we dealt with a case. So it's kind of about education for me. So I enjoy it. To be honestly, the only shows I really got paid for was Haunted Case Files, and it wasn't much. The other ones, I don't get paid to do those. Um, they pay for your transportation to the locations where you have to film. They give you lunch, which is always good. Um, and if it's far enough away, they put you up in a hotel for a night, or two, and that's it. I don't get paid to do it. I don't make money from it really. For only case files, we did just because because the story we were telling our investigations, so we did that. Carly, you filmed. What was it for you for filming?
That was really cool. Um, Kind of overwhelming, and I was kind of nervous because for me, I was talking about when you've done this too, so you know how it feels. talking about your own personal experiences is kind of nerve-wracking because you don't know what's going to come of it, because it is a way kind of reliving the moment. Also nerve-wracking because you're like, who's going to believe me? You know? But in another sense, it was also a good form of closure. And, you know, they do a very great job of rearranging your furniture to the point where I kept it the way that they left it because it was so awesome. So, no, and they're total professionals. You know, I think that they did a very good job keeping true to the story, not exaggerating it too much. They actually really didn't exaggerate it at all. But, you know, it was a very good positive experience, I'd say, overall.
Yeah, I
I
found
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I found
And
most were all positive. Yeah.
and they understand if you're camera shy, because I was in the beginning. You know, they take their time, and you know, they make sure that you're friends by the end of it, pretty much. So they're cool.
Yeah, they try to make it good for you to do the show. And Pamela, good question, because we are at the top of our hour here. Pamela asked a question: how can we find out about any events you have later in the year? I would like to get a few of your books signed. Pamela, you can go to my website, jackkenna.org. It's jackkenna.org. .org, jackkenna.org. You can go there and go to my events page, and you'll see everything that Carly and I are going to be doing there, and even some stuff with Spirits of New England. You can also go to the Spirits of New England website at spiritsofnewengland.org and find out what we're doing there, because that's our home team. Most of the events listed are all the same. Some are different. The first thing we got coming up, as far as I know, it hasn't been canceled yet. It's still going on. Is the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, which you can look that up on Facebook, and you can see when it's happening. It is the end of July that's taking place. The last weekend in July, that's taking place. That's a 2-day event, 2 or 3 day event. Carly, I always forget. 2-day event, right? 24th through the 26th, something.
It's at least a 2-day event.
Yeah. We start out the event takes place over 2 days for people coming in, but we start off like on a Friday night with some stuff and stuff like that. I think it is open Friday night though too, for a period of time.
Look it up.
So it might be like 3 days. But go look up Gettysburg Battlefield Bash online on Facebook, and it will give you all the details there about it. And Pamela and Stephen Barry and our other friends run that event, and they're great people. It's all for charity. So check it out.
I just put it up.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Check it out. And that's where we'll be. That'll be the first one. Assuming it's not canceled right now, it's still happening. I think they still plan to pull that one off. So, and there's some others as well that we have coming up. So check us out. Anything changes, you can check those websites, and we'll be updating things there if anything new happens. But for right now, what's on there is what we will be doing, at least what we still have planned to do. And I don't think I've left anything out off of there. There might be 1 or 2 I need to add. But yeah, check them out, and we'll be there. And if you're looking for any of my books, you can find them online at Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. Just search for my name, Jack Kenna, in the search bar, and they will all come up. Keep your eyes open for some new ones. Hopefully later in the year, I'll have at least one new one out. And that might be the new Hauntings, Ghosts, and Demons one. But it could be something else, too. I don't know. It just depends on what I finish first. Even I don't know what I'm going to finish first. So that's it. Say, Carly, you got anything to add for tonight?
Stay positive. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. Absolutely. Because I see a lot of people out there all of a sudden not wearing them anymore. So, but wear a mask. And, that's one thing we are praying for is, all these riots and everything going on, especially down in New York City. Nobody's social distancing. A lot of people aren't wearing masks, and this virus isn't over yet, folks. So you might see. I'm afraid we're going to see a resurgence in the next 2 to 3 weeks because of the 14-day Typically 14-day.
Quarantine time.
Well, yeah, the time it takes for the virus to hit. So let's hope not, though. Let's pray that that doesn't happen, people, and we can get back on track, and the country can get going again. Because all this is just setting things back. I will say this: stay positive, but I will be very glad when 2020 is over.
Yes.
Get into 2021.
I saw a
I
post where
don't
there's
usually
like
like to
this.
rush my life, but yeah, I'm ready for 2020 to be over, man.
Yeah. There was this post with this long like log of sage, and someone was like, the amount of sage required for 2020. I'm like, yeah.
A giant doobie is what it looked like. That's what it looked like.
Might as well. I mean, come on, it's
Yeah,
2020.
yeah, you smoke that thing. Carl Mitchell, yes, you stay well out there too.
Yes.
Incubation. Thank you, Jason
Yes,
Marbles.
thank you, Jason.
14-day incubation time. Yes. So within maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're gonna. I hope we won't see more cases, but I'm afraid we are gonna. All right, everybody, you guys have a good night. Always a pleasure having you all here with us and chatting with us, and we greatly appreciate and love all of you. And we'll be back again next Tuesday. I will be back. Carly will be here. I will be here, and more fun and games, and maybe we'll have a guest even. Ooh, who are we gonna pick? We gotta reach out to somebody. All right, love you all. We'll let you know if we're gonna have a guest on. We'll be seeing it posted. So, all right, hey, have a good night, everybody. Love you.
Bye.
Bye bye. If I can shut it down.
Here's here. Oh.
It probably won't shut down. It's gonna be just a blank screen for a while, people. See ya.